Hi, my name is Cesar Millan, and today we're going to talk about one of the most common side effects that dogs suffer in 2020 all over the world, and that is called separation anxiety. Of course, I want to talk about how dogs develop separation anxiety, and of course, how can we help them? Now, let's begin our training. Remember, I don't train dogs, I train humans. So let's understand when dogs live in their own natural habitat with their own kind, with a pack of dogs, with their mom, their dad, their aunts, and everybody else, their family, they're always together. They're always together. They're always following someone, or they're always waiting with someone. So they're never alone, and they're always following. So they never have this understanding of they have to live separate, okay? So when a dog is with someone, his natural tendency is wherever that human goes, he follows. Wherever that human stays, he stays. Wherever that human sleeps, he sleeps with it. So the following, the resting, the staying is always together. So for a dog, that natural way of being is to follow someone always and to be with someone always. So we have to keep it in mind so we understand where they're coming from. So coming and living with us, we practice a different lifestyle. Sometimes we don't need, or we can have somebody following us, children, our spouses, our moms. We actually practice separation because we practice a completely different lifestyle. We go to work, we go to school, we go to church, we go to the beach. And sometimes we don't want that person or a dog can actually follow us into that environment. So it's not natural to them to ever not follow someone and to ever not be with someone. That's why they become man best friend, because they will follow us to the end of the earth and they will stay with us even if we're homeless. So literally we leave dogs inside the house while the human goes away to work, goes away to school, goes away to travel, goes away. So the dog is always inside the house. So think about it. The dog has lived in quarantine for a long period of time. Right now with the COVID-19, we're all living in this lifestyle of being inside a place, which dogs have lived that way for a long period of time. But for a dog, it's natural. It's natural to be with his family 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you go to the bathroom, they follow you. If you go to the kitchen, they follow you. So no matter where you go, it's like a shadow right there with you. They want to stay with you no matter what you're doing. If you're stretching, if you're walking, if you're running inside the house, if you're resting, if you're sleeping, they want to be right there with you. That is natural. So this COVID-19 has brought togetherness in order to survive, which for a dog is natural. For us has become unnatural. So I think it's very important to understand, because once this quarantine is lifted, and then we are going to go back into what is natural to us, because that's the only way we can actually buy food, water, pay for the rent of the house or the mortgage or whatever it is, right? So it's food, water, shelter, and family. So those are the four things we have to take care. How do we do it? We go to work. And so a dog doesn't go to work with us unless it's a service dog, right? But most dogs gotta stay inside the house. So they're gonna go into this separation anxiety once again. And it's gonna be a lot more dramatic this time, because for months a dog has lived under this unrealistic lifestyle for us, right? So something to take in consideration, not to alarm you, is just to make you understand. For me, it's all about if you understand where they're coming from, you can practice patience, you can practice creativity, you can practice strategy, you can practice using the right energy, you can practice exercise, things that I'm going to share with you in order for them not to develop separation anxiety. So now that we know why dogs living with us in this lifestyle that we live are more likely to develop separation anxiety, by us understanding this natural way of living, how do we help them to live with us in this unnatural lifestyle of living together and then separating? Because we have to do that from our parents, from our children, from our home, from anything they actually live with us. So we know that, but that's a conscious decision we make. They don't do that consciously. So we have to help them exchange this natural lifestyle that is for them, help them live this unnatural, but it needs to feel natural. So how do we do that? This is what I need you to do. I need you to count how many times your dog follows you throughout the day. Okay, so if you go to the bathroom, count it. If you go to your living room, count it. If you go to your bedroom, count it. If you go to the door, count it. If a delivery, everything. If it's 20 times, it's 20 times. It's 30 times, it's 30 times. I just need you to count it because it's very important for you to know how many times your dog follows you throughout the day. It's part of the strategy that I want to teach you. So once you know how many times your dog follows you throughout the day, I want you to cut that in half. And that's when we get to train a dog to begin to live separation, but in a natural way. Now we're going to help our dogs to understand that separation from this point on is going to mean peace, love, calmness, a challenge. So we're going to make sure that they have fun as they practice this separation activity. All right, so the easiest way to teach a dog actually the art of separation is you need a point of reference. I'm going to show you with Sophia how a point of reference can become the place where a dog can go to a happy place, where a dog can go to a peaceful place, where a dog can go to a resting place or sleeping place for that matter. So it's very important for them to know that this point of reference is going to give them something, and this is why the separation must happen. So they actually do it as a game. So two things that I want you to be very clear, okay? So because you need to visualize what you're gonna do before you do it. So your dog knows that you have something in mind and you're so certain that you are gonna make it happen. And the calmness behind is extremely important, right? It's part of your tools, your energy, your strategy, and your tools. That's going to help your dog see this activity of detaching, not following, being by himself, having self-confidence, having self-control, right? Self-discipline, in order for them to understand that this unnatural activity is fun and it became natural. So I purposely have this bag of treats. So I want you to see how this the nature of a dog when you have something that smells really good, or even without this, you know that your dog is going to follow you all over the house. So I just want you to see the nature of a dog following you. No one puts a leash inside the house to a dog because they know the dog is going to follow them. Okay, so come over here. So the point of reference, hey guy, the point of reference is going to help you because they're going to start associating that staying there to do a task, to stay there, to detach, meaning start following you and begin to stay alone there. The point of reference is going to give you access to start teaching your dog that following you is not a bad thing. The waiting for you is not a bad thing. So come back. So never call the dog off once you are teaching a dog to stay in the point of reference. So you need to do this in different places of the house. So when she sees the point of reference, which is eventually can be a bed, can be a carpet, can be a little mark, whatever you want it to be, they know that by you pointing, they're supposed to go there because a detachment is going to happen and then they have to wait. So that way they understand that you're setting up the house in order for them to understand how things work. Right? So you can use the point of reference before you go into the kitchen. It gives you a distance. It's the distance that we're looking for. It's the stop following you that we're looking for. But if they see it as they're going to gain something out of it, and at the same time, they're participating, a dog is going to be always willing to do whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel clear, whatever makes you feel confident, whatever creates this joy, this love, this understanding. You don't always have to give a treat. You can just give affection in a calm way, right? Because when you want a dog to really understand separation, you always want to reward with calmness, with silence, with gentleness, with the understanding that you want relaxation in return, right? Separation, anxiety. What it means is a confused mind that makes the body tense. And so if the mind is confused and the body is tense, you're going to hear sounds. So that is just them letting that energy out. But we want that the mind is clear and the body is relaxed. And that's how they're going to understand to stay there as you go. So practice this like I say, if 20 times, do this 10 times during the day. So they have a point of reference. They have an understanding throughout the day. Sometimes I follow the human to the kitchen. Sometimes the human challenged me not to follow him to the kitchen, but he gives me something to do. So as long as you exchange activities, they're going to be willing to do whatever it takes to keep that team alive, that pack alive, that family alive. And you get that understanding, you get that focus. You get the feeling of we're doing this thing together. And when you leave, just leave calmly, confidently. Leave that energy behind. Trust that your dog is going to stay there. Yeah, it's a good girl. Even in the reward, it doesn't have to be super excited with sound. It can be super excited with the smell. Remember, never call your dog from the point of reference, because you're teaching separation and you're going to reward the waiting and the calmness. So you're going to reward that they're not following you, and they're going to reward that they're waiting for you by themselves. That's the reward. That's what you're rewarding. You're not rewarding you're not rewarding that they're laying down, sitting down. No, you're rewarding that they didn't follow you, and you're rewarding that they are waiting for you. That's what you're rewarding. So just be clear, just understand that you have to feel that they don't have this inclination of following you, and they don't have the inclination of not understanding what they're doing. What you're teaching is this unnatural behavior of not following and being alone, this unnatural. You're going to turn it into natural, because they're going to understand if they don't follow the human and they wait alone, the human is happy. The human rewards, the human gives affection, the human challenge. See, you're turning something unnatural to natural. So now, throughout the day, make sure that you practice a small distance of separation, especially when you're going to open the door, especially. Let's say you are welcoming not too many people, because we're practicing social distance right now, but this is part of the separation, right? It's being separated from the door, being separated from following the human all the way to the door. Let's say you want to talk to somebody. For her, this is an activity. She's not feeling bad that she's not with you. She's actually feeling good because you're challenging her. Yeah? And you're making it clear, so when it's time for us to go back to our unnatural but natural lifestyle by going to work, go to school, and make our living, she's going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared. They're going to understand, okay, now the human left, but he will come back. But he told me not to follow, and he told me to wait for him. So to be alone is nothing to worry about. And not following him is nothing to be concerned about. I know what to do. So that's what you want the dog to know, that they know what to do by practicing this unnatural, but you turn it into a natural lifestyle. Hey guys, I hope you learned that dogs develop separation anxiety because it's not natural for them not to follow someone or to be alone. So now that we know that dogs can learn to separate and have fun and be peaceful and loving, and it's a challenge, so when the human comes back and asks them to follow, they can reunite peace, safe, and love.